Hey there, sixth graders. In this video today, we're going to talk about what I want you to accomplish in class. So make sure you are listening and following along to this video as we go. Pause, rewind, do whatever you need to if you need to rehear things or repeat things that you might have missed. So let's go ahead and get started here. If you have not already, go get your science binder and a pencil because we're going to do a slide of notes here from my PowerPoint. So if you need to, pause the video, go get your binder and a pencil, and open up to mineral properties. Okay. If you have your binder, open it to the properties of minerals, I think is what it's called, that sheet. And the last thing we did yesterday was this slide here on luster. We talked about those steps of how to determine luster. We already did that in a lab and we reviewed it yesterday and wrote the notes. On your class notes page in your binder, you should be all the way at the bottom. There's one more property on the front side of this paper, and we're just going to do that one today. And it's a new one we haven't talked about yet, and we haven't done in a lab yet. We'll do later, probably on Monday. And that's called streak. So let's go through. Make sure that you're filling in your notes here. Streak. So streak is one of those 7 major properties that we use to identify unknown minerals. We've done color and luster so far, so we've done 2 of the 7. Here's the third one, streak. Streak also has to do with color, just like color of the mineral, right? That was what the first property. And even luster, because luster has to do with the way light reflects, and colors because of light. Well, here's another one. It's streak. But this time, it's a color that we don't see or we can't observe until we actually do a streak test. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. So, what is streak? Streak is the color of the mineral when in powder form. So, you are writing in powder form there. So, it's like when it's broken up, and it's like a powder. Now, here's what's really unique about this property. Color of the mineral does not always equal the same color of the streak. Sometimes it does, but there are oftentimes actually when it doesn't. The color of the streak is different than the color that we see on the surface of the mineral. And so that's why this is a separate property, because that can be a really important piece of information when you're trying to identify an unknown mineral, is that you know the color of its streak compared to the actual color of the surface of the mineral. So, what do? Well, it's a super simple process. In order to find the streak, the mineral needs to be rubbed against a streak plate. So you're writing in rubbed against there. In order to find the streak, the mineral needs to be rubbed against a streak plate. And it's a really simple process. The streak plate is like this little porcelain tile. Okay, it looks like this over here on my picture. And you just take it and you just rub it once or twice across the tile. And we'll talk about this when we do the lab on Monday because you guys will do this with your 10 minerals. But looking at that picture, it gives you the 2 examples of how the color on the surface of the mineral does not always equal the color of the streak. That mineral on the left kind of looks like a dark gray or a black, but yet when you do the streak test, it leaves a gold or a yellow streak. And the mineral on the right, which looks gold or yellow, when you do a streak test on that mineral, you'll notice there that it leaves a gray or a black streak. It's almost like they were flipped, but they weren't. And that's why this is one of the major properties and why it can be so important to help us identify minerals, because when it gives a different streak color, that is a really great piece of information to be able to help identify the mineral. Okay, that's it for the notes. Okay, so you're done with the notes. I'm going to leave that up there if you didn't get it copied down. And if you need any of those words still filled out, they're bolded on my slide there. Pause the video, get them all written in, because I'm about to go through what you're going to do for the rest of class and the directions. All right, now that you're done with the video and the notes, I should say, not the video. Keep watching the video here. Now that you're done with the notes, you're going to move on and you're going to work on some assignments. in the following priority. So this is what you should be doing first. When you're done with it, you should do the next thing second, so on. So the very first thing, the number one priority here is your mineral project because it's due tomorrow. So in Google Classroom, under classwork here, you still see the amazing mineral project, and you have these resources that you really should be using today before you think that you're done to make sure that you have everything you need in this project. Ms. Regal posted here your rubric. Look at that. Make sure you're getting all your points. Don't leave something out because you forgot about it when it's all there for you. Even simpler, this checklist that is printed out and should be in your science binders. Use it. It's there. Okay, like for instance, go down to number 8 here. 3 sources, 3 points. Do you have your 3 sources? She's mentioned that a bunch of times. Do you have those 3 sources? If you only have 2, you're going to lose a point. That's easy points. You don't want to just give those up. Those are easy things to do. Okay. When you get down to the trading card, which many of you should be working on if you're not done already, you should have a copy of this trading card in your binder to work on. If you don't have the trading card, it is up on my front table. All of the supplies to color it, to glue something, all of those things are up there. Markers, colored pencils, all these things. I don't know why this is taking so long, especially when I already have it up. So let me just go to this one. So you should have this, okay? Before you think that you're done, remember that some of the points come from neatness and from creativity. So, how are you going to be creative? Well, the mineral name would be one way if you give it a funny name or a creative name with your mineral. But then also, what effort are you putting in to decorate this and to make it look cool, like a wow factor for the card? So make sure you're doing that too. Use the colored pencils. You have these borders and these boxes that you can color, do designs on. So take advantage of that empty white space around everything to use to make it look really cool and to get that wow factor so that you earn your creativity and your neatness points. Lastly, if you were planning to print, if you were planning to print out a picture today, since I'm not there and Miss Regal's not there, let's just hold off on printing until tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll have 10 minutes in class to finish this up. If you're done with everything else, coloring, all the information, all that stuff, all you have to do is print, cut, and glue. That'll easily take less than 10 minutes. So, if that's if you need to print, if that's your plan, to print a picture of your mineral, make sure that you have copy and pasted or inserted the picture into a Google Doc so that tomorrow it's super easy and quick for you to go to the library, open up that Google Doc, print from the library computers, come back to class, cut it out, glue it on, turn in your trading card. All the other stuff should be done. Pictures can come tomorrow. Okay. Or, as always, you have the choice if you wanted to sketch it and draw it. Just make sure you're doing a nice job and being neat with it. All right. So that's the number one priority, going through and finishing that. Once you're done with that, I don't have a picture of it because it's not digital. In your binder last week, we were working on a worksheet and it was called What is a Mineral? And we were using the red textbooks that are in the back of my classroom on the back counter. And you had student choice. So some of you were working by yourself, some of you were working with a partner. If you're done with your project, keep it. Don't turn it into the sub. We'll collect it tomorrow. Go back to your science binder and find that sheet. What is a mineral? Grab a textbook and start answering the questions and try to finish that when you're done with your project. The next thing to do is that what is a mineral worksheet? If your partner that you were working on last week is also done with their project, you guys can still work together in the classroom. If your partner is not done with their mineral project, you just have to work alone for today and finish it yourself. Don't wait for them. That's a waste of time. They can't skip finishing their project because that's the number one priority. So if that means you have to work on your own, work on your own. So that's the second thing. What is a mineral worksheet? Using the textbooks. Third thing then is if you're done with all of that, you can go back to this optional post here in Google Classroom. And I added a fourth video if you've already watched the other three. If you haven't watched any of the other ones, pick and choose what looks interesting to you. There's some cool videos about some of the biggest mineral caves and crystal caves in the world. And then the bottom two videos here talk about different ways we use minerals in everyday life to try to connect it to why we study minerals here in science class. So this one over here that my cursor's on right now, that's the new one I posted. The other three have been there for over a week, so you might have seen all three. If not, you have any of them to pick, but that's what you can do if you're done with the project and you're done with the What is a Mineral worksheet. Make sure you're listening. Just follow directions. Be flexible with the sub. Be kind. I'm hoping to have a great report so we can all earn a Team Champ sticker when I'm back. And I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a good day.